Alright guys, it's been about a week, but I guess have to do what I have to do. Now comes a video on making an engine, like where we're at right now, what we're doing at the moment. This would be the first video. And what I want to talk about here is BMEP, which translates to brake mean effective pressures. Basically a pressure that is pushing on your piston. Let me give you a little example right here. How we would define how powerful our engine is. Sure, we have our foot-pounds of torque and we have our horsepower ratings, but how would you compare two different engines? Let's say a supercharged one with a turbocharged one, or a smaller one with a bigger one. So here we have our basic piston. I hope some of you know how a piston looks like, so we are on the same page. And we're talking about a piston area right here. Now let's say we have a small piston from a little Honda or Toyota. There you go. Now let's say when the two guys meet and one has a Ford and another one has a Toyota, the Ford guy goes, well, I have 300 foot-pounds of torque. And the Toyota goes, well, yeah, sure, but your engine is 300 cubic inches, And my engine is only 100 cubic inches. It's 3 times smaller, but I'm making 100 foot-pounds of torque, which is not any worse than yours considering your size. And this is where the BMEP values come through in terms of comparison. Now, let me show you the engine profile that we're working with. I mean, hopefully by now you're familiar with this one. We are working on the CTS engine, and that would be engine number 12. And the BMEP values are underlined in red, as you can see, 115, 210, 160. If you want to compare them with the restricted, I mean, this is a qualified, never mind, forget this. Just concentrate on the CTS engine. And these are the BMEPs, and these are the RPMs that we're making the BMEPs at. I'm still a little bit confused on the first RPM, which is 0. I understand 0 RPM, that's fine, but we cannot make any BMEPs at 0 RPM because the engine is not spinning. It's an interesting concept, but it's still in development. This BMEP number 1, I'll show you more direct calculations on how to go around this one to get it pretty accurate. But so far, that's where you want to start. In the first video, the first approach, you want to know where your RPMs are and where your BMEP values are. Now, back to our Ford versus Toyota scenario right here. There is a formula for BMEP, and I want you to memorize this formula. It goes like this: 150.8, and don't ask me, this is a variable number, like it is included in the formula. You can do your own research on that one. Times torque, how much torque you're making, divided by the cylinder displacement, or the size of your engine in cubic inches. So basically, if you translate that to our Ford versus Toyota example, the Ford is making 300 foot-pounds of torque divided by 300 cubic inches. And his BMEP, when these self-cancel, end up being about 150.8. That's the pressures, PSI. Pound per square inch. Right here, even though they are not square but circle, the piston area could be calculated in square inches, and each one of those would be a square inch of area. And we're gonna get 150 here, 150 here, 150 here, 150 pounds per square inch per each one. Now the Honda, applying the same formula, times 100 foot-pounds of torque divided by 100 cubic inches. These self-cancel each other and ends up being 150.8, just like the Ford. So if you come back to their scenario, in terms of efficiency or coolness, some we want to say, of how much power they could make, they're about equal. What makes a difference is the Ford is 3 times bigger, and that would make your power differences between the two. Also, it works exactly like that in the game. That is why I'm making this video. So all of you, I want you to start with the BMEP values See how we have no RPM here? RPM, there's no RPM anywhere on the equation. So this is pretty useful formula. Then another one will go with brake horsepower, BMEP, and RPM. I'll show that one in the next video, but for now I just want you to concentrate on this number one formula, how to find out your BMEP, how cool your engine is, not in horsepower, not in foot-pounds of torque, but in pressure per square inch. 150 acting on the piston. I'm gonna kill the video right here. This was the first video. Yes, video number 1 on where to start when making the engine properly for NASCAR 2003. Okay, peace guys, I'll see you later. I hope you'll enjoy this one.